In the lesson Light Reflection and Refraction of class 10, we are going to see how the images are formed in a concave mirror when the object is placed at different position. Image formation by concave mirror for different position of the object. So here let us consider the object is placed at infinite. At a very far, we are focusing the object, for example a tree or a building at a far distance using a concave mirror. So when we focus an object at infinity, we get the image at the focus F. And what type of image we are going to get? We can identify or we can find out using the ray diagrams. And while drawing the ray diagrams, we have to follow the any two rules of the ray. That is, number one, actually 4 rules are there. A ray which travels parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, it passes through the principal focus. And according to the second rule, the ray which passes through the center of curvature without any diversion, the ray after reflection passes in the opposite direction on the same ray. And according to rule 3, if a ray is traveling parallel to the principal axis, after reflection it passes through the principal focus. And the fourth rule, only if it is necessary, in certain cases we use. So here we are going to consider the ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis. You see, the ray here AB is the object at infinite and MN is the aperture of the concave mirror. And as you all know, this is the principal axis which passes through the center of curvature of the mirror and the pole of the mirror. So we are going to consider the line which is traveling parallel to the principal axis. And as you know, the light ray which travels parallel to the principal axis, it passes through the principal focus. Hence, this is the distant object which is placed at a far distance. We are focusing it using the concave mirror. So when we focus a distant object which is at infinite, the ray which travels parallel to the principal axis, it passes through the principal focus. Similarly, here we have another ray which passes through the parallel from the bottom side. The ray which travels parallel to the principal axis, it passes through the principal focus. So since all the rays travels parallel from the distant object, we are considering the parallel rays, and we can see that all the rays which travels parallel to the principal axis, they come and meet at a point called F, the principal focus. Hence we get a highly diminished, a small inverted image of the object. So when the object is at infinite, the position of the image, where we will get the position of the image? It will be at the principal focus F. And then what will be the size of the image formed? It will be highly diminished, a small size, not the same size, but it is a small sized or point sized image we get. And what type of image it will be? it will be a real and inverted image. As you all know, what is inverted? Upside down. But what about a real image? The rays, the image we can catch it on a screen. Okay, come and meet at a point and exactly we can catch it on a screen. So such images are called as a real image. Hence, if the object is at infinite, then as we know, all the rays which travels parallel to the principal axis, they mean they passes through the principal focus, and at the focus we get a highly diminished or a point-sized sharp image at the principal focus, and it will be an inverted and a real image. Okay, now let us consider the object which is at infinity. First we have considered the object which is at infinity. Now imagine the object is beyond C. When the object is beyond C, away from C, here AB is the object and this is the principal axis. When you draw the ray diagram, you have to draw a line from the top or the tip of the object. So here the ray A, this is the line which passes parallel to the principal axis after incident on the concave mirror. It passes through the principal focus. Parallel line passes through the principal focus according to rule 1. Now we have to draw another ray according to rule 2, the ray which passes from the top of the object, the ray which passes through the center of curvature. The ray which passes through the center of curvature, it comes back in the same direction. Hence, the line AC, that is the ray which passes through the center of curvature, it comes back without any diversion. Therefore, these two rays, reflected rays, they meet at a point A dash, and at this point you will get an inverted image. And what type of image? Is it the same size of AB? No, it is smaller than AB. And where do you get, which is the position of the image? It is between C and F. Hence, beyond C, when the object is kept beyond C, the position of the image is between F and C. It is between F and C. And what type of image you are getting? It is a small, diminished image, and it is real and inverted. The image is real. Again, you can catch it on a screen. It is a real image and an inverted image. Next, we are going to see if the object is placed at C. So first, the object is at infinite. Next, we brought it closer and kept it beyond C. Next, we are going to keep the object at F. If the object is kept at F, where we will get the image, let us see. According to the third case, the object is kept at C. Here, the object AB is kept at C, the center of curvature of the mirror. So, we have brought it still closer and the object is kept on center of curvature. So, if the object is kept at center of curvature, let us see where and what type of image, what will be the nature of the image formed. First, let us draw the ray which travels parallel to the principal axis. Here the ray AB, it travels parallel to the principal axis, and according to the rule, it passes through the principal focus. Here we have principal focus. So after reflection, it passes through the principal principal focus. That is one of the ray. And the second ray is, in this case, we are going to draw according to rule 3, the ray which travels through the principal focus. Here we have principal focus. So this ray passes through the principal focus, and after reflection it travels parallel to the principal axis. And when it travels parallel to the principal axis, both the ray meet at a point below C. That is, the ray which is parallel passes through the principal focus, and the ray which passes through the principal focus after reflected parallelly, it travels. So these two rays meet at a point A dash, at a point C, below C, and here we get the image. That is also an inverted image. Here, because the foot of the object and the image lies on the principal axis, and we get the top is below A dash, B dash. Hence, we can properly say that the object is erect, whereas the image is inverted. And what about the size of the object? It is the size of the image is same as the size of the object kept. So we can come to the conclusion that when the object is placed at C, the image is formed in the same place, but it is inverted. At C itself we get the image. And hence at C, when the object is placed at C, position of the image is at C, and what type of image we get? Size. It is of the same size, and it is also a real and inverted image. The image formed is a real image, and it is an inverted image. The next case what we are going to see is, now we kept the object at C, first at infinite, then beyond C, at C. Now we are going to keep the object between C and F. So here, when the object is kept between C and F, what type of image we will get? Let us see. So again, when we draw according to rule 1, the ray which is travelling parallel to the principal axis, it passes through the principal focus. And here, the ray which passes through the center of curvature, it moves in the same path in the opposite direction. Hence, this ray, it travels in the opposite direction and the same path, and these two rays, they meet at a point beyond C. Hence, here we will get an inverted image. See, the image which moves from the top of the object, it reaches this point, and this ray, it moves in the same direction. Therefore, this comes to the point below C. Hence, we will get an inverted image, which is where the size of the image, it is very big compared to the size of the object. And where do we get the image? Beyond C. When the object is placed between C and F, the image will be formed beyond C. That too, here the image formed will be real and inverted as well as magnified, very big in size. Diminished means small in size. Magnified means very big in size. A bit enlarged. So, between C and F, when the object is kept between C and F, image will be formed beyond C, an enlarged big image, and the image will be real and inverted. Okay, so we kept the object at infinite, and then beyond C, at C, and between C and F. The last case is, we are going to keep the object at, not last, the previous one, when we keep the object at F. If you are going to keep the object at F, we will get the image, and what type of image we are going to get. Let us see. This figure shows that the object is kept at sea. This figure shows that the object is kept at F. So when the object is kept at the point, at the focus, what type of image we will get? Let us see. See, here AB is the object and it is placed at the point F, the focus of the mirror. So when the object is placed at F, the ray which travels parallel to the principal axis AB, it passes through the principal focus, and the ray which passes through the center of curvature, it comes back in the same path. So here, when we extend these two rays, they never meet anyway here, but the possibilities are there, they meet at a very far distance. So, when these two rays meet at a far distance, you are going to get the image of the object, an enlarged one, very big in size, highly enlarged, and the image you can catch it on a screen, and it is an inverted image. So, when the object is placed at F at infinite, when the object you are focusing at infinite, you will get a diminished image at F. It is just the reverse. When the object is placed at F, the image is formed at infinite, and it is going to be highly enlarged, very big in size, and it will be a real as well as an inverted image, upside down. So, when the object is placed at F, we are going to get a highly enlarged real and inverted image at infinite. The last case is when we are going to keep the object still, when we are moving it still towards the mirror. The object is placed between F and P. In between F and P, if you are going to move the object towards the mirror, between F and P, what type of image we will get? See, in all these cases, we got a real and inverted image. But when the object is placed between F and P, in the case of a concave mirror, we are going to get a erect image. And the size of the image is enlarged. It is big compared to the size of the object. Here we have to, it is difficult to draw the line which passes parallel. So now we are going to draw the line which is oblique to the principal axis, the fourth rule. According to fourth rule, if we draw the line which is oblique, after reflection it travels obliquely with the same angle. Angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection. The light ray which travels, it comes back in the reverse direction, opposite side of the principal axis, and the light ray which passes through the center of curvature, when you extend it, it comes back, and when you extend here, these two rays never meet. So if we are going to extend the two rays, the imaginary lines, it meet at the point. So at this point, we will get a erect image, and it is going to be a virtual image, not a real image, but it is going to be a virtual image. Virtual image is the image formed in a plane mirror. So that type of mirror images we cannot catch it in a screen. So virtual images are formed when the object is placed in between F and P, in between the focus and the pole of the mirror. So, this in only in this last case, when the object is placed between P and F, the image will be behind the mirror and all other will be before, but only this last one, it will be behind, back side of the mirror, and you will get a enlarged image which is virtual and erect. In all the cases they are inverted. Only in the last one it is erect, and here everywhere it is real, but when the object is placed between F and P, the image will be virtual and erect in case of a concave mirror. So, when we study here, when you are keeping the object, focusing the object which at a far distance, you will get images real and inverted images. As you bring it closer and closer, the size of the image, it becomes bigger. First it is highly diminished, then little bit bigger, diminished, then it the same size, and then it becomes still bigger and bigger and very big. Whereas what about the images? Everywhere you will get real and inverted, but only when the object is placed between P and F, you will get a virtual and erect image. So, these are the different position of the object and the position of the image and the nature of the image we get in case of a concave mirror. Now let us see some of the uses of concave mirrors. Number 1. Concave mirrors are used in torches, searchlights and in vehicle headlights. Because when everywhere it is dark, we use a torch so that we need a bright light for us to move. So, what about these torchlight or searchlights or the headlights of the vehicles? The light which as you know, according to rule 1, the light which passes through the principal focus, after reflection, they travels parallel. Hence, the bulb in the torch or a searchlight or the headlight, it is kept at the principal focus of the concave mirror, so that the light which comes out from the bulb, it hits the mirror, and after that it travels parallel. Therefore, when the bulb is kept here, this is the principal focus, the bulb which is kept here after traveling Now let us see some of the uses of concave mirror. The first one is it is used in torches, searchlights and in the vehicle headlight. These, you just see this figure. Here in a torch, the bulb is kept at the principal focus, so that the light rays which comes out from the end, which emits from the principal focus, after reflection they travel parallel to the principal axis. So like this, all the rays, when they travel parallel, it covers a larger area. Those parallel beam of light, they gives a bright light, so that it is very useful for us. Hence it is used in torches, searchlights, vehicle headlights, etc. Then shaving mirrors. As you all know that if the object is placed in between the principal focus and the pole, we will get an enlarged, virtual and erect image. Hence in the shaving mirror, it is used as a shaving mirror because it gives a large image of the face. Similarly, it is used by the dentist because it gives a, when the dentist uses this hair light concave mirror, it gives a bright and enlarged image of the teeth. And in solar furnace, see the sunlight, when it emits the parallel beam of light, and when it falls on a concave mirror, these beam of light, they converge at the poles. Hence, here a large amount of heat energy is produced, which helps the furnace to produce heat. Hence, in the solar furnace, concave mirrors are used because it converges all the parallel beam of light at the focus, and we get a large amount of heat energy. So these are the important uses of concave mirror. These are the important uses of concave mirror. Now let us see the image formation by a concave mirror. Not a concave mirror, convex mirror. Now let us see the image formation by a convex mirror. In concave mirror, we got several types of images by keeping the object at different position. But in case of a convex mirror, whatever be the position, we are going to get only a virtual image and an virtual, erect and a diminished image. And the position when we see, either it may be at the focus or between the P and F, pole and the focus of the mirror. Here in case 1, let us consider, since we get the same type of image where whatever be the position of the object, we are going to consider the two extreme positions. That is number 1, when the object is at infinity. If you are going to focus a convex mirror at an object which is at infinity, you are going to focus an object which is at infinity, at a very large distance, then the image is got at the principal focus, because the rays which travels parallelly from the infinite objects, in the case of a convex mirror, it will diverge. And if you are going to extend, these are the imaginary lines which meet at a point called the principal focus of this convex mirror. Principal focus of this convex mirror. And it appears the lines starts from here, and these divergent rays, they come and meet at this point F. It appears like that. So these are the divergent mirror, because the light rays, it gets diverged after reflection. And in this case, the image of this object is seen at the principal focus of the mirror and it will be small, highly, it is a diminished and virtual. The image like the plane mirror, how we see the image in the plane mirror, similarly you will get a virtual image and it is going to be an erect, straight image. And the second case when we see, let us consider in this case the object is placed between infinity and the pole. Between infinity and the pole, anywhere you keep the object, you are going to get the image between the pole and the principal focus. Wherever you keep, if the object is kept at infinity, the image will be at the principal focus, and if the object is in between the infinite and between pole, wherever the object distance, the image distance will be between the pole and the principal focus. And what type of image you will get? You will get a diminished, erect, virtual image. So this one is the ray which travels parallel to the principal axis and it gets diverged. When we extend it, it passes through the principal focus. So this is one of the rays, and the other one is the ray which diverges from here, which passes, when it passes through the center of curvature, it moves in the same path in the opposite direction. So these two rays meet at the point A dash, B dash, and you will get a diminished image at this point which is in between P and F. So when the object is placed between P and F, the image, when the object is placed between infinity and P, the image will be formed between P and F. So only these two possibilities are there in the case of a convex mirror. In a convex mirror, if the object is at infinite, the image will be at the focus of the principal of the convex mirror, and you are going to get a diminished, virtual, erect image. And if the object is placed beyond P and any point, you will get an image between P and F. So the possibilities are only infinite. When the object is at infinite, the image will be at F. And if the object is between infinite and the pole, the image will be between the pole and the principal focus. And what type of image you will get? Diminished, virtual and erect image. Let us see the uses of convex mirror. You know that the convex mirror has a curved outward view. Now let us see the uses of convex mirror. Convex mirrors are used as rear view mirrors in vehicles. You might have seen the driver's seat at the side. They have convex mirror placed. They are the rear view mirrors. For what purpose they use the convex mirror? You know that convex mirrors are curved outward. Since they are curved outward, and as we have seen, convex mirror produces diminished and erect image. Hence, the driver can able to see a diminished and the erect image of the vehicles which are coming behind. And since it produces a diminished image, it can cover a larger area. So he can able to cover a larger, he can view a larger area at the side, so that without any difficulty he can drive the vehicle. Therefore, convex mirrors are used as rear view mirrors. Number one, the reason is it produces diminished image, and therefore it gives a wider view. And second thing is it gives an erect image. Hence, these convex mirrors are used as rear view mirrors in the vehicles. So, we have seen now uses of convex and concave mirrors and the image formation in this video. Hope you all understood it clearly.